by Transamerica. Together, we can transform tomorrow.
I'm Pam Oliver. You just saw my sit-down with Tony Romo on Fox NFL Sunday. As usual, there's a lot of stuff that could not make it, but you get to see the bonus coverage. Take a look. How are you feeling? Really feeling? Tell me the truth now. I didn't come all this way for you to sit there and go, yeah. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I'm ready to get roll.
Are you? Yeah?
No, I think asking a quarterback in the league, and after a while, you get banged up in a couple games.
Don't give me the quarterback in the league.
You know, it just kind of goes with the territory a little bit. It's just part of playing the game. You know what I mean? And I keep getting better each week that goes by, and this week will be no different.
Did you have to sort of tap into something that you didn't know you had with the severity of the injuries that you sustained, that you just kind of said, maybe you didn't know your threshold, maybe you did?
Oh, that's a good question. I just, I tried saying this last week, but it's just, you work so hard for so long in the offseason and everything, and you get 16 days really out of the year to showcase all that time and effort that you put in, and if you're competitive, I just don't see why you wouldn't play, when you have an opportunity to. I don't know. It's just fun. It's funner to play than not. And I just think that you learn that I love competing. I love being out there trying to win. I love being out there trying to get our team over the hump, go to the next level. It's enjoyable. And there's no other big thing behind it other than that. And you don't want to, at the time, San Francisco, you just don't want to go 0-2, and you want to get back out there and figure out a way to win the game.
Did it feel heroic at the time because it looked heroic? The pictures were awesome, but did it feel like this was a heroic thing that I'm doing?
No, I mean, it's obviously playing the position. The quarterback sometimes gets, too much of the credit and part of the blame side of it and everything, but there are plenty of people that played not only in that game, but in plenty of games on our football team, that allow us to do certain things that we wouldn't have been able to do playing through injury. I can name 5 or 10 people just last week that continually had to overcome something that is, hard. It's not easy. And it just goes without saying sometimes. It's a different world that we live in as football players. It's not, it's just normal in a lot of ways to go out and play if you can. And, it's nothing more than plenty of people have done. It's just if you play the position, and things like that. But you're not thinking about that at the time. You're just trying to win a football game.
But isn't your body saying something else? You might be thinking that, but if you can't breathe, you're in pain.
Yeah.
It's illogical.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different world we live in sometimes as football players. You play. If you can play, you play. And I guarantee you have plenty of linebackers back there that play through stuff, safeties. These are tough guys, and if you can play, you play. That's kind of just the thing we do, and of course you'd like to feel better. We'd all like to be 100% when we play. Just that's unrealistic in the National Football League, and you got to be able to play through bumps and bruises.
Was that just something you were determined to be, that kind of player? Because lots of guys, you've been around football who won't play if they, their manicure didn't turn out right. You know what I'm saying? So was that just some kind of, I'm going to be this kind of guy. I'm going to be.
Yeah, well, we can't all be Terry Bradshaw. We can't just go play when we want. And just kind of.
Can I just tell you, that's why I'm here.
Is he sick?
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what.
You know what I'm saying?
I was hoping to see Terry.
Now I'm mad at you. I had stuff to do today.
I'm actually happier now. It's a much better interview.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, I think there might be, but guys usually are like that don't last very long in the league. You got to be tough. You got to be able to go out and do it. We got a handful of guys that I was so proud of the last couple of weeks. Just they're grinding out. They're playing through injuries, and they're giving great effort, and their production's still at a high level, and it's awesome to see.
But they're pointing to you. They're saying, he can do it. I can do it.
Well, I think anytime you play the quarterback position, your team looks to you as in the leadership role, and that's just part of playing the position. You just need to go out and try and win. And I'm going to leave everything I have on the field, and I know those guys are too.
Have you always been allowed to lead?
What do you mean?
Just from the standpoint of maybe in some of the teams that you played on, maybe personalities were too big. I'm not naming names or anything, but have you always been allowed to lead the team the way you wanted to be the leader, the undisputed leader of the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I think it's hard when you first start off playing. There's no question. It's just like high school. If you're a freshman or a sophomore, it's hard to tell the seniors who have been through 2, 3, 4 playoff games what to do and what they need to expect and blah, blah, blah. So you have to wait your turn in some capacity, in that once you get the skins on the wall, once you have the experience of being in games, once you have had some success, and once you know what to do and what for those guys to expect at their position, that's when that stuff all kind of comes together. And it just takes time sometimes, and then you're able to use all your, I guess, I don't want to say vocal, but I mean, you get to use all your intangible stuff to help people improve and get better as a team. And you talk to them, and you just get to be yourself and tell them what you expect.
Like we saw you Monday night?
I think that's just growth, being around and showing guys, and you got younger guys out there and people that you just need to let them know what they need to do, what you expect of them, and that's part of the process with getting new guys and things like that.
I don't know if people know this, but you really are a student of the game. You love football. You breathe football.
Yeah.
I don't know if people really understand that about you. They may have an image of you that isn't really, relatable to the way the passion you actually have for football.
Yeah. Well, I think you hit it on the head. I mean, you can't get enough of the game. I love watching tape. I love looking at new ideas. I love seeing the defense, why they're trying to attack different ways, what approach the defensive coordinator is taking that week compared to a different week, why he would do that, what they saw. So I'd like to put myself in someone else's position. As far as why that perception or whatever, I'm not really sure. I think that as fans, I'm the same way. We always just only want to hear about football. And I agree. When I root for someone in basketball, I don't really want to hear about what else is going on. I just want to hear about them playing basketball. And sometimes when you're in a position playing for the Cowboys and stuff, that stuff, they're going to talk about other things. And it goes with the territory. It goes with playing quarterback, really, just in general in the National Football League. And you have to be able to minimize those things and go out and play your game and just be committed to what you're doing every day.
A couple more things. Your image seems to have taken a boost because of this injury thing. Can you explain that?
I'm not in the world of looking at the way you're perceived or your image. I just know that I'm trying to help this team win football games. I just know that you're out there playing to try and be competitive as an individual and win games as a team. And I just take that approach each day. The rest of that stuff is just kind of comes and goes, with whatever people are talking about. But I don't look to that. It's just it's fleeting in some ways. You got to just try and be the best player that you can be and commit to it every day.
And I also have a theory, because so much football was taken away from you last year, nothing was going to keep you out.
There's probably some truth to that a little bit. It was gonna take a lot to keep me down. I can tell you that for sure.
And talk about pain management. People are like, really? These guys get help to get out on the field? Do you know what I mean? It's just, could you have even played without the benefit of pain management?
Well, I played the week before, afterwards, so I knew what the worst feeling was going to be in that sense. And, I didn't take the shot in San Francisco. We just didn't know enough of what we were dealing with. The doctors did a great job just kind of letting me know all the information at the time. And then this last week, we had that at our disposal. I ended up doing that before the game, and it numbed it a little bit, so that was a positive.
And you'll just play it by ear from here on out?
Yeah,
right?
You just see how it goes each week. I mean, I feel every 3 or 4 days, gets a little bit better and everything, and you just, if you can do it at one point, usually you can do it again afterward.